Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The Curse of Oak Island, mystery deepens as more gold detected and an oak tree is dated. This week on The Curse of Oak Island, the team detected more gold at the garden shaft, dug up an ancient well, and dated an old oak tree. All of this seemed to add more and more intrigue to the 227-year-old mystery. By far, the most exciting thing on last night's episode was the discovery of more gold in the side paneling of the garden shaft. Last week, the team sampled a piece of wood at 55 feet and found it contained about 0.11% worth of gold. This week, the guys took another piece from a depth of 58 feet on the opposite side of the shaft. Archaeologist Emma Culligan put the piece into an XRF X-ray fluorescence machine, where she bombarded the artifact with gamma rays to ascertain its composition. And Emma was thrilled to inform the fellowship that this piece had an even higher content of gold. The archaeologist didn't specify the exact content, but she was eager to point out that it showed the gold levels were increasing as they drilled deeper. Marty Lagina stated, "There's a highly unusual source of gold here. The guys really cannot wait to get to the bottom of that garden shaft." Elsewhere on last night's show, the team continued to expand their area of operations, always looking for the next possible key to the Oak Island mystery. Oak Island team found a second ancient well. The team drafted in Billy Gerhardt and his digger to excavate an old well on Lot 11 on the north side of the swamp. Oak Island landowner owner Tom Nolan recalled that in the 1970s, he and his dad, Fred Nolan, found an old well with lots of pottery in the bottom. At the time, the two Nolans had refilled the well. Rick Lagina and the guys decided to dig it up to take a look. The team has become very interested in wells ever since Ian Spooner discovered a high concentration of silver in a small well on Lot 26. Ian also learned that the well could date back to the 11th century. Billy managed to locate Nolan's well without too much trouble, and Rick instantly noted that it was of an identical design and construction to the Lot 26 well. There are multiple watering holes on the island, but these two are so similar that the guys think there must be a connection. They did find a little bit of pottery, but not much, and unfortunately, any more digging would require permits, so they called a halt to that operation, for now. At the same time, the guys have also been working on an intricate stone wall near the well on Lot 26. The wall has an oak tree growing out of it, so they concluded that if they could date the tree, they would have a minimum age for the wall. To that end, forestry expert Peter Romke took a core sample from the tree so he could count the rings. Last night, Peter informed the guys the tree was at least 240 years old, but that they could probably add another 20 years onto that figure. The center of the tree was rotten, meaning he was unable to count all the rings. That placed the tree, and therefore the wall, as being older than the initial discovery of the money pit in 1795. In the meantime, Laird Niven uncovered a piece of charcoal from underneath the wall. This is an organic material that gives the guys another opportunity to pinpoint the date of the wall. Carmen Legge returned to Oak Island with expert advice. Blacksmith expert and Oak Island regular Carmen Legge made another appearance last night to impart some of his wisdom. He examined an old hook discovered by Gary Drayton in the spoils, dug out of the well on Lot 11. As usual, Carmen had intriguing news. He claimed the hook was used to winch heavy cargo. He insisted that it was not used for lifting buckets of water, but was clearly for something heavier. Everyone is hoping it was treasure. Carmen also dated the artifact to between 1650 and 1690, way before the money pit discovery. On a stormy October morning, Oak Island's horizon was shrouded in mist, the kind that seems to cling to secrets long buried beneath the soil. The island, famous for its tantalizing hints of hidden treasure, has captivated treasure hunters and historians for over 2 centuries. But now it seemed as though the island had one more secret to reveal. The latest episode of the long-running search for the truth, led by Rick and Marty Lagina and their dedicated team, opened with a quiet excitement in the air. The team had recently received news that sent waves through the community. More gold had been detected deep underground, and a newly dated oak tree on the island had an age that left everyone reeling. What could these findings mean? Was the treasure, so often hinted at but never fully revealed, closer than ever before? The room fell silent for a moment as everyone absorbed the weight of this discovery. For decades, the search had yielded small fragments, coins, jewelry, and even traces of precious metals, but never in quantities that suggested the fabled treasure of Oak Island was anywhere near. Could this signal be different? Could this be the key to unlocking the enigma that had eluded so many before them? Marty Lagina, ever the pragmatist, raised his eyebrow, his mind already racing with logistical possibilities. If we're getting signals like that, we've got to focus all our efforts on narrowing down the exact spot. We dig there, and we might just find something incredible. The oak tree's secret. As the team's focus zeroed in on the potential gold deposits, another mystery began to unfurl across the island. During a routine expedition into the wooded area known as the Oak Grove, where the ancient trees have stood guard for centuries, the team came across a particularly gnarled oak tree, with massive roots snaking deep into the soil. It wasn't just any oak. Local legend said it had been there long before anyone had set foot on the island in search of riches. For years that Oak Grove had been a quiet, overlooked area in the wider scope of the search, but recent findings had piqued the team's interest. Could the trees themselves hold a clue? With modern dendrochronology, scientists could now date trees with extraordinary accuracy by studying the growth rings in their trunks, so the decision was made to take a core sample and finally get an exact date for when this mighty oak had taken root. The results came back a few days later, and they were astonishing. The tree dated back over 300 years, potentially placing it during the time when the most famous and mysterious groups were rumored to have visited the island, whether it was pirates, Templars, or privateers. It's incredible to think that this oak has been standing here for so long, Rick Ladina said, gazing at the towering tree. This could mean that whatever happened on Oak Island, whoever was here, might have used these trees as markers or even cover for their activities. Imagine what this tree has seen. The connection between the ancient oak and the treasure was not lost on the team. Could the tree have served as a beacon or guidepost for treasure hunters centuries ago? Perhaps it had been planted intentionally to mark a critical point on the island, a signpost for those who knew how to read the land's hidden language. A new path forward. The convergence of these two findings, the detection of significant amounts of gold and the dating of the ancient oak, led the team to a renewed sense of urgency. For years they had uncovered tantalizing hints, the mysterious stone carvings, fragments of gold chain, the strange flood tunnels that seemed designed to thwart treasure hunters. But this felt different. The island seemed to be yielding its secrets, albeit slowly, and each discovery brought them closer to solving the riddle that had driven countless others before them to despair. Gary Drayton, the team's metal-detecting expert, stood by the shoreline, scanning the horizon as waves lapped at the rocks. He had found countless artifacts during his time on the island, but he could sense that something was shifting. "I think we're finally getting close, mate," he said, gripping his metal detector with renewed determination. "The island's telling us something. It's about time we listen." As the sun began to set, casting a golden hue over Oak Island, the team gathered to plan their next steps. The newfound gold signals were too compelling to ignore, and the ancient oak tree felt like a silent guardian watching over their progress. They would double their efforts, dig deeper, push harder, and continue to unravel the layers of mystery that lay beneath their feet. For now, the treasure remained hidden, but the pieces of the puzzle were falling into place. Oak Island had always been a place of secrets, and with each new discovery, the curse seemed to loosen its grip, revealing tantalizing glimpses of the treasure that might finally be within their grasp. But as every treasure hunter on Oak Island knows, the island doesn't give up its secrets easily. The question that haunted them all was simple yet profound. Would they be the ones to finally break the curse? Or would Oak Island remain, as it had for centuries, a place where fortunes and lives are lost to the sands of time?